Hello, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745, and well, I've made a lot of progress. I say we made because Exergen has been helping me with updating TRE to work with, now currently Black Ice 10.51, and I have tested it and made sure that the game starts and can play a few minutes, but that is about it. So we're going to be going forward to see how it does, to see what's going on, to see what sort of surprises. I have not, other than like the first few minutes, have not played 10.51, and there are some definite changes. And hey, how are you doing today? Hello, four gatherers. How you doing? Good to have you here. So we're going to see how this is looking, see what surprises that may or may not be going. But before we do that, as for gathering just followed over on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube or watching later on YouTube, you can subscribe, like, comment, and of course, while I'm live here, I want everybody to comment as well. Right. So this is basically going to be just playing the game, but taking a look and seeing how it's working. So we'll just quickly hit that. I'm sure we'll be needing to change some of this in the near future. Now, one way we can quickly tell that TRE is installed, we have Minister of Science Bernard Rust. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Right, and of course all of the TRE unique ministers for the game. We're going to change armaments ministers from Werner von Blomberg. Don't know why he is set as generic, but Reichswehr minister. I would put him as chief of staff or chief of the army. I don't know, but we're going to change him over to Helmar Schacht, which was at this time in 1936 in charge of the various German, the German Reichsbank, and which you're president of the Reichsbank, and basic economic minister. Hello, Guido. How are you doing today? And so we're going to leave Frick as Minister of Security here. We're going to get rid of this guy. This guy is this Reich. Basically, it's he's Reich Minister of Science and Education. Is basically his full term, but Reich Sicherungsministerium. Basically, that we're going to get rid of him. He is not an effective guy to do this. I modified Black Ice, and hello, Martin. Here at the beginning. Modified the unique minister of Willy Messerschmitt, but and added Ernst Heinkel and George Schnandl. I don't know. He's good for the Navy. We're gonna go with, I think, Messerschmitt right now. No other changes there. Now, okay, we have some decisions to deal with. Okay, 8 brigade divisions, 01 title. I have not done the, and it's more than just cosmetic things that still need to be done, but I've not done the localization to give it a better title for the description. Oh, well, okay. Just want to show off. Let's hear division. You start, you can only, I guess because it's already happened. I did test this before. If I hadn't clicked that, you could see it limits it to 7 brigades. I guess simply by clicking it, it's already done the decision. You don't need to hit OK to approve it. That allows us to go to an 8 brigade division at start. That is big. Now, the way it is currently set up, hey, no need. How you doing? Love to restart and help testing. Well, okay, I may be releasing a version on my Discord server. I just I don't want to mess with things going over to it. Some other time I will, and maybe even mention it on the Black Ice forum. I can put a link to it on on my thread there. Releasing a version on my Discord server for testing, but it's still early days. So just to explain to everybody what's going on here with 8 brigades instead of just 7 brigades. There are 3 nations that get, and I just did it, moved it to the start. There's 3 nations at the start of the game will get 8 brigade divisions available to them. One is Germany, another is Britain, and the third is the United States. In talking with Exergen, we have decided that Italy starts out with a triangle division, goes down to a binary division, and go into some of these more detail later, and then sort of re-adds another battalion or whatever back into it because they find it too small. So they're generally not large divisions in Italy. Soviet Union, maybe around 36 or something, and before they have large divisions. But because of the officer purges and the Winter War, by the time you start seeing real action from the Soviets, they have small divisions. Okay. So now I'm just explaining. Now Japan has very large divisions, and I'm still on the edge on whether I should give Japan larger divisions, because although they have larger divisions, they generally have what would be a full, for their infantry, standard infantry divisions, would have a full set of, a triangular setup of infantry regiments plus a full cavalry regiment. So instead of a cavalry division, and then not just a cavalry, not quite as big as, the 9, but it would be, 3,000 men. Instead of a reconnaissance cavalry unit, it's an actual cavalry brigade, if you will, or regiment attached to their infantry divisions. So it's tactically, the division moves no faster, but it just has cavalry as a response element to it. I don't know that needs 8 brigades, and I don't know that it has the manpower to want to do it. So right now it's just the 3, Germany, USA, and Britain. Britain, we definitely think should be able to have large divisions. The USA starts out with a square division at this time period, very big divisions. But I think it's by about 1940, they've converted everything down to triangle divisions, and that's the way it stays to the end of the war. But they have lots of support elements to their divisions, sort of like super divisions, if you will, with all kinds of supporting elements and lots of it. Now, so those are the 3 nations that get it. But if you're a player nation, if AI equals no, you as the human will be able to have an 8 brigade division. So if you're Belgium and you decide, well, hey, I just going to hold a narrow front here or something, and I want 8 brigade divisions, you as the human can do it. The AI will not. And I have actually, with the help of DSafe, he gave me an example for the Lua coding, the AI coding of how to tell the US and Britain to make 8 brigade divisions. So basically you would generically give it to Germany, though I haven't changed because I'm presuming America or Germany is being played by a human. But so the AI Britain and AI USA will make an 8 brigade divisions. No other AIs will. currently. And the human, whatever nation they're playing, France, Spain, Japan, Russia, they have that choice. Because because of multiple reasons. One, history. Two, manpower issues, whatever it might be. We've decided to limit it to 7 brigades for the rest of the nations. So that is one element of it here. Now, okay, another thing I want to cover here. Strategic resource trading start. I've just disabled it. As best as I understand what I've just done, even though you clicked and you thought you've started it, I just made it go away by changing some of the code. Now, I'm pretty sure that I did that correctly, but what they have done here, and we're going to see how this works. We can see here, this is, I don't know if we can go more than 3 levels. I think it's 3, but rubber, synthetic rubber, a bunch of these have mines, if you will, nuclear, I don't know about the nuclear reactors, but molybdenum, manganese, zinc, copper. Actually, you can now increase the level here, though it does say we cannot build. I don't know. I think there's a whole process to building, which this is different than the trading. Trading is different. So we're going to see. I don't think what I did disrupts the ability to be able to expand your mines. But we will see how that goes. I'll say I just fundamentally, and it's reflected down in here. And I know I'm making this, a lot of people have already heard this, but where do we have the, okay, well, yeah, some of the stuff, it's, even though you may see it up here, zinc does nothing for you. What it is, and I right offhand don't know, but some of these, maybe not nylon, I don't know. I'm looking for them here. Okay, Resource Science Center. Well, hey, Huffman, how you doing? Okay, don't know exactly which ones, but there's Air Force Producer. Well, Jungle Colonizer. Okay, see, Jungle Colonizer, it needs control of one of these 3 things, and I don't believe in trading for some of these or any of these outside of your faction. I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. So won't go too deep into all of that now, but so we're not doing trading. I've disabled it. Oh, it would be if somebody wants to enable it, it's really easy to do, and somebody can make a submod to TRE to re-enable trading if you want. I just disagree with it, so I've removed it. Okay, we're gonna close this for now. Okay, and black ice start. We're just going to go normal because this is just playtesting, not trying to challenge me or anything like that. Oh, well, let's start off. I want to see if we, before we let the clock go, and before we start pissing people off by going after reoccupying the Rhineland, see if we can sell some supplies, get some money coming in. USA. United Kingdom. Really hating this game because sometimes it's United Kingdom, sometimes it's Britain, and sometimes it's England. It's frustrating. How much money they got surplus right now. Let's get everybody buying German goods, including like France. Yep, they got money. Let's get them buying a bit. Let's see who else. Australia. Well, let's see if we can sell them all. They've got, yeah, let's, don't want to get too close to their max. See how many of these guys we can get. Well, let's see if we can sell some to Italy. And Japan. 21. Okay, that should help us with this. Hey, Toyjet. You know these modern kids these days. Toyjet self-identifies as a beluga whale. So that's why he says greetings humanoids, because he doesn't consider himself one. Yeah, okay. Just right. Okay, we're gonna come down here. I don't know if some of these are worth. We're gonna start with economics buying. We're gonna do first year short term. Let's go through. We could do the yeah. We could do backstories, difficulty settings. We're just gonna go normal, 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 normal. Skip this altogether. A lot of stuff to do when you get started with black ice. Do not listen to the terrestrial propaganda. I am the superior mammalian form. Yes, that's what he identifies as you could tell. I wasn't. I mean, I think he's joking, but I wasn't joking in saying that. Hey, thanks for hosting, Arno. Good to have you here. All right, we're going to do nothing to help. There, we're going to do 200 supplies for Bank of International Settlements. Oh wow, Arno trying to identify something wacky now. Okay, well, I think it's going to be 2 and 2. So let's just try this out. Annual national focus. I keep trying to go for something larger than. Yep. 2 manufacturing and 2 heavy industry. That seems about standard. Yog Dog, yeah, starting a new game with my mod Third Reich Events, along with Black Ice mod. Okay, so we did that. Let's do Military Academy Railway. Okay, we're activating transport types. The Opel Blitz, the Kubelwagen. And we're going to do the Kriegsmarine structure, yes. And we're going to have the Luftwaffe. Right. Okay, let's get this turned off. Disable it for 1 year. There we go. That's because I just want to get rid of all of these decisions. Okay, we're going to do this here. Mix support brigades. Okay, we're going to here made a tutorial on this. I hope people enjoy it. It's sort of long. We're gonna do engineers, artillery. We don't want to do something that will do anti-air. don't want to do something that adds needing fuel, like light armor and assault guns. Is what we're staying away from. Keep him. Well, we'll do extra anti-tank. There we go. Yes, we're finished. Time for... No, not at the moment. We're not going to do Plan Z. We are not trying to do stupid things for playing here. Okay. Yes. Here. Air. Artillery. And yes, I guess again, anti-tank. Done. Yeah, for your light ships, you mean? Lift the blockade on the Rhineland, and then we will formally occupy into the Rhineland. Right, now let's just save this with all of that. Clicking out of the way, though we haven't finished our click fest that starts the game. I've learned that I am a infrastructure first kind of player. Yeah, let's do these. Okay, but what we want to do is we don't need all that diplomacy. We're going to be doing some trading, so we're going to want that. Don't need huge. Oh no, yeah, just lock that down. We don't need huge amounts of officers at start. We don't need huge amounts of spies at start. But we do want some to build up our various reasons. We do want some. Let's come over here. Yes. Tanks. Artillery brigade. High density alloys. Move basic. Infantry units. And this is why Gamer hates 1936 in the game, because he's had to test and play. Because you have to, if you want to test something properly, you have to start new, even just to make sure it works. So, gotta go through all of this start every time. You can't just work off of a save. And so I've done this probably more than, I mean, I'm not sure that I've done it more than every one of you, but I've done it more than most of you. Start Hoi 3. And start Hoi 3, and start Hoi 3, and start Hoi 3. Just to test things. Cruiser capital. I think we'll skip some of that for the moment. Let's come down here. Okay, well, we've gone over our maximum at any one time that we can effectively research. Oh, okay, elastic defense. We shouldn't have done that. Oh, Okay, we didn't need that. Okay, yeah, that's 38, not 36. I should pay slightly more attention. Right, okay, so we also want to look at, we're at full mobilization right now, and that is the best we can do. For economic laws, massive education, we're at peak of that. Okay. Let's try. Okay, we currently effectively have 168 ICs. So we're going to go to mixed industry. Over to this map. Okay, they've all accepted. Oh, once it started, I didn't pay attention close enough. Who was that? Yes, we'll give you energy. Sounds good. Well, another thing I did want to do. Let's max out our industry where we have heavy industry. This heavy industry is a multiplier effect. If you have a heavy industry here in a province with no industry, it does no good. So you might as well. So it's like each one of these is 10% more because we're putting it in a province with, I forget which one it is. Hey Niagara, how you doing? That'll get us started out here. Hanover, oh yeah. We've got two heavy industries. Right, and so I want to come down here and we're going to move all of these to the top. And, you know, I think what we'll also do is just, because I want more built now and not waiting for, you know, completion and then build the next one and completion and then build the next one. We're just going to put some out here in the east, further away from likely bombing by the Allies. Sort of out here like that. We're going to move the others back to the top. Last one with the plus is done. You're melting. Oh yeah, you Europeans and lack of air conditioning. Get with the times, guys. Get with the times. Okay, so now we're 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours into the game. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. We want to do the historical heavy aircraft, gasoline engine, welded armor. I think it's special treatment closed hangar is Germany's historical. Okay, new day. It recalculates everything. Now, okay, so yes, we've jumped up from 168, I believe it was, to 219, and we don't need any more consumer goods yet. So that will get that. We got all of these. effects, click through. Yes, allow the events. Yes, we want fascist militia brigades. We'll go with the smaller guns. Hitler's residence, scripted invasions. And because of things, we now have more leadership. Sherplunk doctrine. And we'll do advanced training centers. Now it says we can do one more. Okay, war economy now and mass conscription. Now we can do war economy. War economy will most likely push us into needing to do consumer, produce consumer goods, because consumer goods during peacetime plus 45%. My quick calculations before last time when I tried this, the more ICs you do get, but isn't greater than the actual needing to put ICs into consumer goods. So that's not good. And the other one, massive conscription. I don't know that we need more manpower at this time. Is there other negative things? Well, we'll go back to this. That happens. So I think these are the best for now. I would generally stick to just the mixed economy until the war starts. Okay, they've gotten rid of the border around here, which I'm glad they did, because I didn't like them having the border around my images. Put it around here now. Okay. Mussolini supports Austria. This is from Third Reich Events. So this is just a notification event for us. Yes, we want historical upgrades. Creation of battle commanders. Now let's look at Austria now. Nothing. Well, diplomacy. Oh no, something's coming. Okay, no, never mind. I was thinking of the wrong event. Okay, do you want revolts? Yes, do your worst. No, I don't like these events. We would give them money for rare materials. Very good. We would give them money for fuel. No, thank you. We will give you money for energy. Oh, do we want to sell you? Sweden. I know we're here, but I want to actually be over it so that I can. Okay, they need supplies. They have some money. Let's see if I can still sell them some. Okay, we haven't pissed them off enough yet for them not to. Yeah, let's reduce it by 2. Mostly I'm trying to look for good relations with Sweden. Well, currently we are at 40% National Socialist, 32. Okay, then we have a fair number of spies. So what we're going to do, our own spy priority. We're going to do counter-espionage. We're going to do ruling party support max out. And we're going to try to raise national unity. Egypt, we would give, no, we don't want fuel, sorry. Not really spending much in the way of fuel. Okay, build up of the historical Luftwaffe, sure thing. You don't have to take some of these events, just whether you want to or not. Okay, Franz von Papen. He already had been, but this is more of a notification about him again from Third Reich Events. Okay, Sturmabteilung der NSDAP. Yes. Gotta go through all this, look at my cool pictures, read the text. Now what you want to do is after that happens, you want to come here, you want to click right here, and you want to stop all upgrades. You do not want any of this to upgrade. Trust me on that. Unless you're going to start a war before 1930, 8th, it's going to be a major war. We're going to reorganize the war ministry because I don't really care about recruit time or organization levels right now. Oh, what do we have here? Okay, we occupy the Rhineland now officially. We have the troops there. That really pisses off some of the Western nations, you know, violating that Versailles Treaty. Okay, now we're at high popularity. Probably because of some of our, well, occupation of the Rhineland, I think, helps that. My popularity allows us to, yes, there we go. And that does it. Hungary, yes, you may have an energy. Hungary is hungry for energy. Planning to merge Europe into my TRE. Okay, I presume you're talking about EU4 or some such there. Or you're delusional and think you have a Holy Roman Empire, then you're going to merge Europe into it. But yes, energy. Okay. Would like money for rare materials. Okay, we're down by a lot on both of these. We have good amount of money. Yes. Right. Third Reich Events. This is sort of the starting sort of notification, though it's already happened. And I think there's more. I remove things with this, including let's come here, right here, Schweinfurt. The strategic resource, I think it should go away. Yes, goes away. It's still on that map until we click over here. No, it's still there. Still on the map here, but it's removed here. You will be getting those back later on through events. Third Reich Events is not made to make Germany easier. It's made to make it more historical. And so basically I sort of gut punched Germany at this time because I really think a lot of what the base game just gives you at the beginning really is more the 4-year plans. I mean, that's when you'll get, yes, you can have metal exchange for money. We could use oil. So let's see, are we, yes, we can see about getting oil from the, well, we want to get oil from the Soviet Union. Soviet Union, yeah, let's do that. We are currently 21, so a little. Total fantasy game right now. Imagine HRE centralized like France or England. Yeah, that would take a Charlemagne type figure to do that. We'll commission the Hessen. Reduce this down even more here. Focus a bit more on getting production going. Now we're back down to medium popularity. The popularity boost of getting the Rhineland has slipped away to some degree. And it may start coming back because we'll get ruling party support from the Volksamtsfagner. Sorry, Niagara. No, I'm not pronouncing it right, but People's Receiver. It was sort of like, I don't know, a non-interactive Facebook of the day or something. PI should not make Hoy to become a piece of cake. Yeah, no, I don't think it will. The effectiveness of the effectiveness of forts in standard game, I think, is it's like the attack is reduced by, is how I think it works, minus 0.9. Well, in Black Ice, it's minus 2.6, I think. I forget exactly what it is. So, like, fortifications are much stronger in Black Ice than they are in standard games, more than double. It's challenging, and after you game, I tend to give a new shot as well. After your game. Okay, yeah. Good to hear. Finland, yes, we would give them some metal. Now let's see if we can find somebody. Okay, they don't have extra money. They do a little bit. Let's see if we can sell them some supplies. You want supplies by any chance? No. Britain, a little bit of surplus. France, I know we just reoccupied the Rhineland, but would you consider buying some supplies? You don't have much extra money. Nope, that's too much. Let's just try that. Good. Not probably as badly as I'm doing the Germans. German language. Butchery. Okay, the righteous. I got to bring this up. This was a period infographic map, and this explains a lot. Sure, there's sort of racism in that, the French soldiers depicted as black, and yes, the French did use colonial soldiers to occupy the Rhineland and whatnot. But Germany really, really felt that it was surrounded by either by enemies or potential enemies. And that is why, say, traditionalists, like a lot of people in the army, and others supported the Nazi buildup, even though they may not, be fully on board with a lot of the Nazi beliefs. They saw the Nazis as someone that is going to resist a lot of this, where the socialists, the sort of mainline socialists, they weren't really pushing down this path, and the traditionalists are sort of afraid that, because it goes back to Bismarck setting up social security system. It's not that they're entirely against the idea of various social welfare programs and whatnot. It's more the socialists are sort of internationalists and not wanting to prioritize national defense, and they're afraid of Soviet Russia or Poland or somebody carving off more of the former German Empire, maybe taking East Prussia or something. They're afraid of all these threats that the socialists are going to protect them from. They're afraid also of the communists, having a communist revolution in Germany. So they're afraid of all this stuff. So that's why so many of the middle and conservative traditionalist right that were, Christian based, that were against a lot of the Nazi beliefs, but at least the Nazis were going to protect them from all this other stuff, and they would work it out in the end. So this infographic really sort of encapsulates why the Nazis did as well as they did. At least it does for me. It tells that story. Propaganda before it was called public relations. Yes. Oh yeah, no, it's a propaganda thing. But I think it's a propaganda piece for sure. And propaganda can, of course, be, like to the side of black propaganda, which is stuff that you put out, which Britain did a fair amount of, is they even sort of created a fake radio station that was wasn't actually, but supposedly broadcasting from Germany, that was a radical Nazi radio station that claimed Hitler is betraying the National Socialist Revolution, trying to go, the radical Nazis against the regular Nazis. So, some black propaganda is not just false propaganda, but sort of false propaganda that you're putting out in the enemy's name to make the enemy seem bad or whatever. On that sort of extreme to just basic untruths, to propaganda that America supposedly, through Voice of America or whatnot. I don't know what it's really become today. I know it still exists, but it was designed as a propaganda arm that was to put out the truth, but put out the truth version that America wanted to see. Make everything that they were supposed to originally during the Cold War say as much as possible is to be true, but put out the good news from the American perspective, not put out the bad news. So yeah, and so that's why I'm really fascinated by stuff. Well, maybe my girlfriend gets her first real work contract without time limit. Well, very good. Very good. Yes, you may have energy. And if we go faster, things, I just find it a little unstable. You can be played, but yeah, so I'm going to save this just before the autosave. I know we're going to have an autosave, but I'm just going to do a manual save just before it. Yeah, hello, Harmony. Yeah, I know it still exists. I just don't know what it's doing, really. Especially seeing as how I would say a lot of supposedly, I'm not talking about opinion people, but straight news people are giving out untruth propaganda. So I have to wonder what Voice of America is saying. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is new to me with this new version. Okay. So I've not really seen or taken a look at this and how this works. And let's see how much I agree or disagree. Okay. Zinc surplus level 2. Metals and supplies plus 3 and 1.5%. Okay, zinc is, well, to some degree, and we see down copper shortage, Germany does not have, it does have some copper. We just, in this game, unlike Hearts of Iron 4, we just have rare materials, which could be aluminum, which could be copper, which could be rubber, it can be all kinds of things. But zinc, and I understand nickel is to some degree used as a softener for iron, maybe, or something, to allow soft steel or iron jackets and casings for ammunition instead of copper, which Germany does not have sufficient resources, so that's why the supplies are down, and that's why supplies are up here. Tungsten, Germany does not have a natural source of significant tungsten, and this is meant to be able to be alleviated through trade, but I really look at the strategic resources here is actual control of them by faction members, meaning down here, both Spain and Portugal have a fair amount of tungsten, but Germany doesn't control it. Germany, during the war, especially once France falls, is buying as much tungsten as it can from Portugal and Spain. Now, at the same time, literally, Britain is buying as much tungsten and from Portugal and Spain. Now, Britain, that it can't use it, but it doesn't need it, one, and two, it doesn't necessarily have the shipping to ship it because it's limited amount of shipping and the whole U-boat thing going on. So most of the British tungsten is just piling up in warehouses, and there's suspicion that maybe some people went in and stole it and either resold it to the British or sold it to the Germans. But Britain's mainly buying it to keep it out of German hands. And so during this time period, there is definitely investment to expand production in those two countries. But Germany, or the Axis faction, if you will, doesn't actually control to go and say, hey, we're going to put in this amount, X amount of labor, X amount of resources, and we're going to expand your tungsten resources and whatever. So I really look at the strategic resources as factional control, not something to the level of trading. So okay, so we have plenty of zinc, so we get a little bonuses here. Great. We don't have control of much tungsten, so rare materials down. Heart attack, yeah, okay, yeah. Copper shortage, definitely Germany had a copper shortage. So okay, good. Aluminum shortage. Now what we will be able to get once we get Hungary in, we'll be able to get aluminum in. So yeah, I think this works for non-trading kind of thing. Oh, and like I've said before, there is a simple, takes less than a minute to convert it back. So if somebody wants to make a sub mod or just go in and tweak TRE back and have trading, you can put it back in the game. It's still all there. I've just disabled it. Chromite shortage. Okay, chrome, very hard metal that is used to line things, but can also, I think, go in with stuff. I'm not a metallurgist or a chemist or whatever. Rubber shortage. Germany definitely had a rubber shortage to the point that they were making spun steel wheels on things, or springs, literally, coiled springs in between two metal bands for like truck tires, kind of stuff. So yeah, that's real. Molybdenum shortage. Okay, I don't really know much about it. Nickel, again, nickel is a nice soft metal that can be a copper substitute. Manganese, yeah, I'm sure it's a nice alloy metal. I don't know, but okay. So we're taking minor hits from there. I'm very good with this. Hello, Altiza. They want supply shortages in the German industry like the USA want to do with the 1943 raid on the ball bearing factory. Absolutely. And I've disabled Schweinfurt, or removed it. No, that's Erfurt. Schweinfurt right now, I've gotten rid of it. Is it still? No, it's still, the graphic is still there, but whatever. But you will get that back during the 4-year, at some point during the 4-year plan. I forget where. I just know it comes in. Yes, we'll go with this. So, good. Tungsten makes tank shells stock. Well, they do. I don't know exact. Tungsten is obviously a hard metal, and it's really good. If you make something out of steel, you need to be, and if you need to do machining on it, you need something harder than steel, and that's why Germany needed tungsten more for machine tools than it needs for projectiles. It's better to use that. Molybdenum is used in structural steel. Okay, very good, Harmony. Thank you. Even against stellanium. Well, in the real world, the War Thunder stellanium didn't exist. Okay, we're gonna continue building these as regular. Okay, well, okay, I don't think I've disabled this properly. Time to prepare our budget, but we'll see about that because I want to disable that. I disagree with paying troops money out of this. This, to me, fundamentally is international trade, and that is what it's for. Okay, so no research budget progress. We'll get this money minus 25%, but because we have Willie Messerschmitt, we'll get all of those research bonuses. Okay. Do we want to do heavy firepower for our motorized or mobility, or let's stick to basic AA? We're going to do mobility. Anti-tank upgrade for motorized support units. Yes, I want motorized. Artillery focus for motorized support brigades. We can do artillery or rocket. Let's take a quick look here. Again, I know I've made a recent video on it, but we can see here motorized. I think we'll get maybe the basic attachment plus either rocket, or we'll get motorized rocket, or we'll get motorized artillery. Okay. Movement negative 40% across rivers. Across plains, negative 40%. Motorized artillery here, 40%. Rivers, 40%. Okay, so it's the same. Self-propelled, though. Well, yeah, okay. Self-propelled rocket. We could have that eventually. Okay, we're going to go with rocket focus for our combined or mixed. We will do appease them. That will reduce that and Peenamundi. And once you get to Peenamundi, you want to move this to the top to have it spring out there. That's sort of Germany's bonus for historical stuff. Okay, also, okay, for some time, yes. Okay, also used in light bulbs. Okay, the stellanium got some crack on it, so its Chad tungsten shell goes boom on the virgin fragile stellanium. Okay. Right, okay. NSKK. I'm not going to read all of these. I will do another series maybe, but we're going quickly here. We're going to stop making the cigarettes. Yes, we want in there. We want to do. This is from Motorized. Tank destroyer. Nothing more is needed. So for motorized, anti-tank detachment. So right now we have the anti-tank detachment. That will get us more heart attack and more piercing. We can go for heavy anti-tank detachment, even more heart attack, or we go for motorized, but more fuel consumption. Let's go for motorized first. Since it's a motorized unit, we're gonna go for more speed. Yes, upgrade support, mix anti-air, yes, mix support, anti-tank, yes, mix support. Okay, this is for mixed support. We want to do rockets as well here. Now we're not going to get the bonuses right now because for rocket, because it says rocket artillery must be at least 1, so we've not clicking off it, we've not got this to 1, so then we will get that benefit. The real world. Guslav, this guy is killed by David, what is it? It's like Frankfurter or Frankenfurter. I keep messing that up. I want to get his name. We'll call it Jewish guy. Where is it in here? Put in protocols, published in Russia, point and distribute. Jewish, okay. He will be remembered. Oh, yeah, okay, here. David Frankfurter. Yeah. He saved Switzerland. That gentleman right there, by killing Wilhelm Gustloff, saved Switzerland from invasion. He does it all by himself. I firmly believe that. Wilhelm Gustloff was had both Swiss and German citizenship. He was the NSDAP's person for organizing up Germans in foreign countries. And these are the organization for German citizens in foreign countries. But because of his Swiss connections, he was also, I believe, very much the lead person of contact with the various National Socialist movements in Switzerland. And I really think it's his death that misdirects or gets, because Hitler, a big thing, Hitler does not want any Germans living outside of Germany. And so it's really him not being there keeps them from focusing enough on Switzerland to invade it. Yeah, that's how, because Wilhelm Gustloff, who becomes he's, I would say, second of a martyr after Horst Wessel for the Nazi movement. He becomes the second big famous martyr. He really, he was really pushing, to coordinate Germans outside of Germany and expand German influence. Where at this time, either he's the ambassador to Britain and or the NSDAP's foreign minister is Ribbentrop. He later becomes Germany's foreign minister, but right now he's NSDAP's foreign minister. That's for like dealing with France, dealing with Italy, dealing with America. But there was the NSDAP AO, which Ausland, I think, organization. And that deals with Germans outside of Germany. But he was also the lead guy dealing with the, and we'll see some of the stuff here, the Swiss Nazis. And so once he is gone, then we no longer, they're no longer focused, because he isn't in the true inner circle of the Nazis, but he's very close to it. And so I think him not being there does not push Germany into Switzerland. So I've talked more about it and other things, and I'll do some more in the future, but I just, and I know I didn't read the full thing in there, the description, but he is, he calmly, after shooting Wilhelm Gustloff in his office, he sets the gun down and waits for the police to come. The police come and arrest him. They try him for murder, convict him of murder. There is no death penalty in Switzerland. So it's a life sentence. Sometime in 1945, but right around Germany's surrender. I'm not sure if it was before or after Germany's surrender. His sentence is commuted and he's let go, and he moves to Palestine. And he lives, we'll give him money for fuel. No, thank you. He lives out the rest of his life in Israel. So yeah, as soon as they weren't afraid of a Nazi invasion, the Germany's being beat, they let him go. You think Operation Tannenbaum could have worked out? Oh, of course it could have. Now, would it have been a smart move to try to get around the Maginot Line through Switzerland? Probably not. But if you're just talking about, because I don't know the detail organization plan of Tannenbaum, but yeah, Germany could have taken Switzerland, absolutely. But and highways, yes, I want anti-air guns in our motorized brigades. So yeah, no, they could have taken it, but just without his focus, it was just. And there were reasons to leave Switzerland for the time being, most assuredly. But once France falls, especially France falls, and you haven't yet to go to war with the Soviet Union. Well, I think that would have been the time that Germany would have demanded the German-speaking parts of Switzerland. And I don't know what would have happened from there. With Switzerland, and with TRE, I think it's these two provinces, if Mussolini supports the Italian fascists, can go to Italy. But so Mussolini would want the Italian bits, at least. Germany would want approximately half of Switzerland. So is there a point of Switzerland after that? The sort of, what is it, Romanche or whatever, Swiss ethnic group, and the French-speaking Swiss, or would it just fold into whatever, France becomes? Oh, well, I'm not saying it would be a smart move to do so, and I definitely talked to people about Switzerland. I talked to Swiss about Switzerland in World War II, and how effective the people would have continued fighting. And I definitely know there's Total Resistance, a book which I had, and one of the people I talked to had the Swiss, or like a German language version of it, that he had, Switzerland. So we talked about some of that, whether they would have done that. Fighting the Swiss Alps would not be. Yeah, but when I talked to in developing TRE, I talked to two Swiss players of TRE. Both, I believe, if I remember correctly, of German speaking. One said his ancestry was, sort of the plains part of Germany. He thinks his ancestors probably just would have gotten along. The ones that were lived here would have just gotten along with whatever, not tried to resist. But the ones in the mountains, he thought they would try to resist. But we'll see how TRE handles some of this coming up. Okay, we really like it. Yes, you can have some energy. Railway artillery designs, yes, start the program. So even TRE takes away 10% of your ICs for now. But the question comes down to is, how much do the Swiss people really want to resist. Could they have? Yes. Germany would have won? Yes. But how costly would it have been? I don't know. And how much do they want to resist? That's the real question in my mind. But you got to remember, even Napoleon marches, pushes his way through Switzerland to invade, or Helvetica, or whatever it was called at the time, to invade into Italy. So he's able to he doesn't conquer the whole thing. He just pushes through some of the mountain passes. And Napoleon, in essence, sort of reorganizes Switzerland eventually. We would give the medal, certainly. Let's see inside. Nice, pretty pictures. Good. And as Napoleon conquest gets more and more, he finally turns on his ally Spain to put his brother in charge of Spain. Okay, well, Hitler is in a similar sort of place. He's expanding. I think he would have gone into Switzerland. Would he have gone into it before the Soviet Union collapses or not? I'm not sure about that, because obviously he didn't. But I really take that Gustloff not being there is just there isn't, because Gustloff would have been, Mein Führer, when are we going to get Switzerland? Mein Führer, when are we going to take over Switzerland? Mein Führer, when are we going to liberate the Germans in Switzerland? Mein Führer. He would have been doing that all the time, and so it's that sort of thing, and not, and compared to not having them there. Spain, yeah, PTSD, yes. 1810, yes. Flanked into Italy, yes, that's what Napoleon did, yes. Yes, we want the Wehrmacht Ersatz divisions. Yes, you want motorized. And, would it have become like Spain, a smaller version, in that you conquer all the major cities and towns, and then, like you had the guerrilla war, where you come up with guerrilla warfare. I know idiots on, TV and whatnot don't know where this comes from. Guerrilla war is basically small or petty war in Spanish. Is where that comes from. It has nothing to do with gorillas that live in the jungle. So yes, we got that. Okay, towards the sun. See a lot of the events from TRE. Spain never recovered. Yeah, I don't know. That is a modern picture. I hate that. I don't know if I hate it enough to make my own version of it, but I do hate that. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to end this episode, not the live stream, but the episode here. I want to thank you for watching. Those watching later on YouTube, you can post your comments below about anything that's going on. Love to hear from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.